I think the big thing is you got to play with a motor. You got to play with when you're guarding a guy that's active on the perimeter. You got to at least close out or be in a stance and do some things to try to guard them. I didn't think that was the case at all.
Let's talk Kansas basketball. Hi, everyone. I'm Ray Crawford. That's Bill Self talking about Cliff Alexander, an electrifying playmaker, but it's not his work on the offensive end that got him benched during the second half Saturday, but a lack of motor on the defensive end of the floor. Here to offer his Inside Kansas City talk show host, member of the Jayhawk Radio Network, and our Kansas insider, Josh Klingler. So, Josh, what do you make of Alexander's benching Saturday?
Well, it certainly was an interesting one, and you heard from that soundbite there. It was essentially one play on the defensive end that got him in the doghouse. And Bill Self loves his defense. They haven't won all these conference titles in a row by not defending, and that makes him mad more than anything. Even if it's a McDonald's All-American, a preseason hyped newcomer with all the things going in his direction, he's not afraid to bench somebody if he doesn't like what he sees. It's not the first time he's done this, but certainly it made a pretty big statement probably to Alexander and his teammates to not have him on the floor in the second half of this game at Iowa State. Now, I fully expect that to change tonight. I'm guessing he'll bounce back from this and play pretty well tonight against Oklahoma. And again, it's not the first time we've seen Bill Self do this. He's been a master at pushing the motivational buttons over the years, and we'll see if this triggers one that he likes to see in Cliff Alexander.
You know this program as well as anyone, and you believe there is something that's still missing with this team this year. What is it?
Yeah, I think by middle January, we see Bill Self teams kind of hit their stride a little bit, and this one's still finding itself. It's a good problem and it's a bad problem. This is a team that maybe hasn't played its best basketball yet. And you kind of wonder, okay, will they play their best basketball, or are they going to continue to kind of search for answers? It's been a little up and down from a consistency standpoint. Frank Mason has been their best player and probably their least heralded of their starting group. We're seeing Kelly Oubre, another talented freshman, kind of come on. Wayne Selden has had his moments of being up and down. And then Perry Ellis has been a big subject of discussion. He was the leading scorer for the Jayhawks a season ago, a guy that you expected to come back and take that next step, and really has been kind of plateaued a little bit. They've been trying to push him to be more of a scorer, to prove he's the best player on the floor. He hasn't always been that. Had a good game against Iowa State. We'll see if that carries over. But I think they're just looking to push a number of players in a proper direction. Not just Alexander, who kind of drew the brunt of it against Iowa State, but they're looking to push a bunch of guys to make this team better down the stretch.
Well, it's not quite as certain as death and taxes, but Kansas winning the Big 12 is certainly pretty close. With that missing something, though, you talked about, Alexander being benched, the streak of 10 straight league titles really could be threatened here. Who stands as their biggest challenger?
Well, certainly from the get-go, people have thought this team might be a little bit vulnerable. Also, the league is better than I think a lot of people thought, with 7 teams kind of gracing the rankings. I think Oklahoma certainly will have something to say about it. Bill Self has raved about the Sooners all season. He has kind of picked them as a team that certainly can contend. It's going to be a fun league race for sure.
For certain. That is a definite, very competitive race in the Big 12 this year. Josh, great insight. As always, thanks for the time.
You bet. Anytime.
You know, despite our best efforts, sometimes we, the college sports fans, miss a thing or two over the weekend. Lucky for us, we bring you In Case You Missed It. Check out some of the best dunks and dunk fails with our Shea Pepler on CampusInsiders.com.